Greetings everyone, and welcome to my first edition of Let's Play SPAZ. A crazy, crazy ship game, as you can tell in the background there. Just this insane battle going on against the players. Really crazy. So anyway, let's get right into it, shall we? Let's start a new game. Now this is the first thing you see when you load up SPAZ, and this is what your galaxy will be. You start where it says you're here, and all these places you can go to, these are all different universes. This is why this game is absolutely insane. I'm going to try and make it really small. Let's see. Low. No, we'll put it at default. Tech availability. I think, did I put it to low? I don't know. We're going to do default. And we're not going to skip the tutorial because I'm going to do the tutorial for you guys. Anyway, we're going to generate again. This is as small as you can get the galaxy. As you can see, it's still really, really huge. And the goal is, of course, to get in here. These are the tech levels that it suggests that you be. So it suggests you be level 70 just to get there. And as you notice, there's 11 over here, and there's probably, yeah, there's an 11 right here too. The further away you get from the center, the easier these separate universes are. So anyway, let's just jump right into a game, shall we? We're not going to generate again. We will take this one because it looks okay. Is that a 1? Oh yeah, duh. And you can use the mouse wheel to scroll in, because everything got kind of clustered here. If you want to take a nice close look at what you're going to have around you, these are actually pretty good numbers, so we can get here pretty easily. So we're just going to go ahead and start the game. And I'm going to let you guys know, if you've ever seen Total Biscuit's channel, he is the narrator of this game, and I will not be talking over him, because I think he does a pretty good job of narrating, and I do like Total Biscuit, and I'm definitely subscribed to him, and if you guys aren't, you should be. Anyway, without further ado, let's start. Huh, I didn't know that tip.
Space is a vast and desolate frontier, covering a seemingly infinite distance. Even the speed of light is dwarfed by the unimaginable scale of our galaxy. It took nearly 250 years to bridge the void between Earth and its closest neighboring star. Mankind had mastered the folding of space-time, but relied on the use of warp gates. Massive drone ships journeyed through deep space for centuries, deploying pairs of warp gates which allowed instantaneous travel between connections. Warpgate travel had not become commonplace until the discovery of a stable element, number 126. This element contained bizarre, transmutable properties, allowing it to be reconfigured into different forms of matter. This made it the most valuable and sought-after commodity in the universe. Mankind quickly became completely dependent on element 126, which the first miners named Res. Due to the increasing demand for Res, the Warpgate network became privatized. Anyone with ample funding was able to deploy new and unregistered warp gates. Like a new gold rush, convoys of miners traversed the expanding warp network looking for Res deposits. This drove them closer and closer to the galactic core, where Res deposits became richer and richer. A growing number of isolated colonies became unmanageable. As the unique ecologies of each discovered planet intermixed through trade, potential pandemics became a concern. The United Terran Alliance was formed to control interplanetary contamination. They moved to heavily restrict gate access. Military blockades began to screen all trade ships traveling between gates, attacking any unregistered ships that attempted to use them. For a time, the UTA was able to maintain control, but they soon crumbled under the weight of rapid expansionism and bureaucracy. Unable to manage their fleets and borders, the military hierarchy collapsed. Without central leadership, the UTA fleets dissolved into a series of isolated subcells that rarely communicated or traveled beyond local space. Each military subcell now struggles to control their systems by whatever laws they see fit to implement. Despite the enforced isolation, rogues continue the gold rush while refugees amass hidden away from the UTA's eye. They survive within the vast junk fields of an abandoned Earth. There they build a massive flagship named the Clockwork. With it they intend to travel to the galactic core in search of a legendary motherlode of rares.
And that is the story thus far. Okay folks, it's that time again. This will be our 7th engine test this week. I don't want to go to bed with radiation burns again tonight, alright? Let's get those puppies fired up. Good and proper this time. Yes, well, you see, we're lucky the toilet's even flush on this brick. I've managed to bootstrap the induction coil to the main core to boost output, but I don't expect it to maintain a viable reaction. Nuclear particle physics and duct tape do not mingle well, yes? Carl, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Just turn the bloody thing on. Damn, the magnetic stabilizer's blue. We have major breaches on decks 6 through 10. Our escort ships are gone, and we're venting atmosphere. We have crew casualties. Oh, crewmen can always be replaced. The ship damage, on the other hand, well, I told you that piece of junk wouldn't hold back an overload. Did you honestly expect any different? Look at what I have to work with here. The blown stabilizer system will have to be replaced before we can even think of trying this again. It's a common part. I'm sure there is another one in the junk field somewhere. We still have a working hangar, so let's fire up a fabricator systems and build a ship to retrieve it. Let's do that. So we have to press space to build a ship. And these are all little people that are dying, unfortunately. All of them are going to die. So anyway, let's build a ship. So you go down here to the hangar. And now you click on the empty hangar, and this is how you build a ship. We only have one hull at this time, so we're going to build this ship. You can change anything on the ship, but unfortunately in this case you can't really change much, as we don't have very much technology yet. So we're just going to build this little tiny ship. And then you just push space to be able to build the ship, and now we have our first ship. And it's telling us how to fly the spaceship. It's pretty simple, it's just WASD. And then the mouse to steer the ship. And you can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Everything feels pretty good. We're going to go get that part real quick. You can see it up there at the top of the screen here.
This is a public service announcement.
Okay, so I'm not going to read the tutorials because they're not part of the story, but I understand the tutorials. If you guys want to know the tutorials, then you can either pause the video and read them, or get the game yourself. It's not too expensive on Steam. Well, that should fix the stabilizer, but the overload compromised the structural integrity of the ship more than I initially thought. We can't jump with a breach like this. I've written up an extensive list of the repairs that will have to be satisfied before I'll conduct another test. Meanwhile, I'll be in my quarters. Let me know when you're done cleaning up your failure. Oh, you've got to be kidding. I really do hate that, man. We're going to need to replace more than just one ship if we expect to cork that hole anytime soon. That's unfortunately easier said than done. The hull damage vented most of our res supply. We even lost all the damn liquor. We need to restock before we can build more ships. There's a mining station in the system. Elsa, you've worked with the miners before. See if you can convince them to let us harvest in their territory. Alright, so now we're going to travel to a new location. Let's go. There it is. It's the mining station. Let's go ahead and travel there. I contacted the mining base. They're all drunk on industrial paint stripper, so it wasn't too hard to convince them to let us harvest some res. We'll have to be very careful around here. The mining base is automated and won't think twice about slicing us in half with that mining beam. Let's siphon what we need and move on. Your prospecting request has been granted. Please refrain from tampering with the automated mining systems. If you happen to be exposed to the vacuum of space, please proceed to the nearest eye wash station and rinse thoroughly. Thank you, and have a pleasant day. This should be interesting. That asteroid they are drilling into is even more dense than you, Elsa. There is no way we can crack it. Only a station-class core mining beam can even come close. We'll have to grab the spill-off table scraps. I feel like such a transient.
I sure hope you're paying attention. There will be
And
a
that
quiz
is
after.
so very true. So, what we have to do is we have to collect resources. This is actually kind of a nice little ship. It's kind of fast, but not super fast. Hey. We don't want to collect these resources, though, because we can't. But this over here... Yeah, we can get that. There we go. Here's some res over here. You can see your, supply, or your cargo hold right here. And this is your crew. So we're almost full on cargo, and now we're full. Oh, wait, we can handle that. There we go. So now when you're full, you go back to the beacon, and you drop off the res.
My operating system has encountered an
There we
unexpected
go.
error and must be shut down. Do you see this error?
And we just have to collect,
Please
okay, it's 20 res, which is not bad. It's only 2 full loads. The green res are worth 1, and the blue are worth 5, and that's pretty much what we'll see right now. Okay, so now we're full again, and then it will be done, and then we'll carry on with the story some more. Now we have enough res to build the extra ship we're going to need. Plus I was able to officially kick ass and salvage another hangar. We should be able to support 2 ships now. That being the good news, here is the bad news. The explosion all but wiped out our construction database, and nobody backed up their hard drive. Luckily, I was able to recover the data for a single small fighter ship called the Dart. I recommend we build a couple. Our current ships can't even cut butter, let alone stand up against any UTA ships. Well, finally some progress. Let's see to it that we collect what we need to build 2 darts. We're not leaving until we have some ships fit for combat. And the darts aren't very fit for combat, but we'll see what we can do. Okay,
Maybe you
so
should read
now it's just telling us about making ships. Now we have an empty hangar, and we can build another ship. And you can see the res cost, the hull strength, the hull mass, maneuverability of the ship, the crew capacity, and the cargo capacity. Also, you can tell that this is a class hull, they're all going to be hulls, and then it has 2 small shooter mounts, which is definitely different from this, which only has 1 small mining mount, not even a shooter mount, so it's not even a fighting ship at all. So let's try and get that. And we'll stick with the lasers, because I do like the lasers. And it only costs 10 to build, so we're going to go ahead and build that. And then we're going to go ahead and refit our ship and change it to be exactly the same. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to cancel that build. And I'm going to give them the small pulse cannon. Just so that we'll have a variety of weapons. And now, in order to... Oh, you can't click the tactics. That's weird. Maybe it's because it hasn't told me about it yet. Oh well. Anyway, you can just refit the ships like this, and build ship. And now our ship is getting refitted, and this ship is getting built. I don't want that second ship though, I want the first ship. You just push the 1 button, or 1 or 2 or 3 or anything like that, the number of buttons to select which ship you want. Well, there we go. Our fleet is slightly less pathetic now. We've got what we need. Now let's get the hell out of here. So, y'all want to pick up my stones and run off, eh? Well, you go right ahead there, missy. But not without hearing me out first. Y'all help us kick those UTA boys in the jimmy, and me and my boys will fix up that big old ship you got floating around. What say ya? I suppose we can trust these people, providing you don't have any money in your pockets. I'm not sure we really have much of a choice. We're weeks away from repairing the clockwork without their help. We have a small and capable fleet now. Why not put it to some use?
Maybe you
It's
should
not
read
that
this.
capable. But now, I'm gonna get to show you guys some combat. But not quite. And the AI just kind of floats around doing weird stuff. And as you can tell, we have like no cargo space and still the same amount of crew space. So anyway, let's head on over here. As you can tell too, we're a lot faster. We don't have any of the tractor beams. So anyway, let's dock with the base like we're supposed to. Okay. So now we need to click this. The UTA have been confiscating the cargo from some of our mining ships in an attempt to use it to establish a lookout post in the area. This is not good for business. We need to destroy their supplies and force them to restock elsewhere. It should not be heavily guarded. Okay,
Contract accepted.
there we go. That's the mission. Now all we have to do is leave and go to the mission area, which is over here. Saturn. And as you might have noticed, this is our solar system. See? Earth, Jupiter, Saturn. Very interesting to start in familiar territory like that. Ah, fortune smiles. We're lucky there are no UTA ships here right now. They're probably off robbing some other mining patrol. These fringe worlds are unmonitored, so the bastards just do as they damn well please. Let's loot the hell out of this place quickly before they come back. We need to keep an eye on what we're blasting too. Max sent us some backup, so don't be shooting at the green ships. The tactical systems have been repaired and are coming online now. We need to fire the system up to make sure there aren't any crossed wires. That's why I couldn't use tactics before. Okay, so tactics are right here. This is where you can view the whole map of the current planet that you're at. This map seemingly goes on forever, because if you hold in one direction for too long, it just keeps going. I don't think they ever stop. But after a while, as you can see, there's like nothing out here. This looks like it might actually be something, but it looks like it's just wreckage. But what we need is all this stuff right here. These are the good ships he was talking about. Oh, they're just useless buses. Which means they have no actual weapons, so they're not going to be helpful. I thought he said that he sent stuff to help us, but I guess not. Okay, so now all we gotta do is destroy these crates. Oh wait, I'm the wrong ship, that's right. I want the lasers. Don't be shooting us. Oh, they just have mining lasers, we don't really have to worry. Okay. Oops. This is why I actually like the lasers. Because they're a little easier to aim than the pulse cannons. Oops. Go away, you stupid green ships. Good, we've acquired enough data. I can start upgrading some of the ship's systems. We don't have a lot of data, but we have enough to get a few critical systems up to par. We'll have to choose which upgrades we think are most important. We should take care of this right away to get a leg up against our enemies.
I sure hope you're paying attention.
Alright, so what this is every time you level up, and you know by the data here, and it says 3 upgrade points are available, you can go to this research, and you can upgrade your certain systems, which we're going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and
I sure hope you're
upgrade
paying attention.
everything to level 1. Just like that. stupid green ship. I told you not to get in the way. And my cargo's full, so I'm just gonna go drop it off at the beacon, which is kind of dumb. And now every time you get your research done, you have to make sure, you have to make sure to repair all your ships or refit your ships, because they need to be upgraded with the new tech.
Ship constructed.
There we go. Okay. Because as you can see, reactor, it makes more reactor output, better capacitor capacity, which is all about your ship's power. Every time you fire weapons, it takes power away. If you're using your boosters a lot and at really high speeds, then you're going to take power from your ship too. Beams are for the beam weapons like what I have, and they do all those things. Every time you level it up, it goes up just a little. So your beams become longer, they have more life, which is what I'm used to. I'm used to a beam that like almost never goes away because I'm way farther in this game than this. And then this is for the cannons, like the pulse cannons that we put on the other ship. And then you've got engines and shields and launchers and armor and cloak and hull and just tons of stuff. It's really, really cool. Okay, so let's go destroy some more boxes, shall we? We've still got 7 crates remaining. You can see that in the bottom of the screen there. Okay. This is data. Data is good. Did we collect all the data? Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and destroy these boxes. Oh, and if you hold the X key, you stabilize yourself in space so that you can stop moving. Shit! UTA ships on radar. I was hoping they wouldn't come back so soon, but we're not that lucky, are we? This job just got a bit more complicated than kicking over a few boxes. We'll have to take them out. Check your damn targets, too. This place is crawling with civilian ships, and the last thing we need right now is a 3-way firefight. You know, a confrontation may not be a bad thing. If we destroy their ships, I can salvage most of their data and rebuild our database. We can then pick up the escape pods and force the willing to work on ship repairs. We lost quite a few of those crewmen with the red shirts in the explosion. I'm guessing that's probably a pun on Star Trek.
Maybe you should read this.
Because the ones with the red shirts always died, pretty much. Okay, so basically the way it works is when you kill an enemy ship, you can get their black box data. But we're not going to get these data because we already have this ship. It's a dart. So now, in order to fight, you just gotta keep shooting them, and you can see numbers coming off of them. The color of the numbers lets you know what you're hitting and what damage you're doing. But you have to be careful with these green ships, because they're trying to help, but they're not helping very much. Because they got mining lasers. And there we go. He's destroyed, and I'm going to take that pod, or not. I'm not used to having no tractor beam. Hold on, did we get everything? I thought there was one more out here. Huh. Okay. Because we're not going to be able to get any black box data from these ships, because they're just darts. Actually, are they darts? Yeah, it's darts. He's just flying backwards. He just looked different because he was flying backwards. And if you see on where the mouse pointer is, you can see the little blue triangles around my targeting reticle. That's your current power. So if you use the lasers, as you can see, it used up some power. Now you can't hurt your own ship, and they do love to just run away like this. God, he just keeps running away. I'm not even being able to hit him. Kind of a piece of shit. I hate it when they do this. Because like I said, I don't think there's any limit to the screen. So they just kind of run away as far as they can to get their shield up. I think he might be taking damage though. unfortunately, we just can't catch up because I think they're a little faster than us. And this is one of the reasons I kind of quit this game at first, because this fight is so freaking annoying. But they get much better after this fight. God, this stupid asshole, he just won't stop running away. I can't reach him. Even the pulse cannons aren't reaching him. There we go. There we go. We got him now. We got him. We're all on top of him now. Yep, he's dead. I'll take that data. Oh, they took the thingamajig. They're only going to run away when they run out of shields and they feel they're in danger. So you just gotta stay on top of them until then. Try and not let them get too far away. See? It's actually pretty easy when you don't let them get too far away. Hey man, please don't kill me, man. I was just following orders. I really don't even know why I'm out here. Well, I'm not gonna kill you yet. Drones are expensive and the toilets are in need of a scrubbing. Perhaps you can take a look at that crack in the reactor for me. Hell, you're gonna eat turd sandwiches without bread if I tell you to. You even look at me the wrong way and I'll toss your ass out of an airlock. That might have been a bit harsh. As awesome as I am at fixing your tin traps, I could really use the extra crew working repairs. We should put anyone who is willing to use. The clockwork can also hold quite a few extra goons if we need to keep manpower in reserve. We don't really need to space everyone we come across. I do agree with you somewhat. Let us not forget that these goons might be valuable if we pawn them off as workers. I'm sure there are many stations that are willing to pay for the extra manpower, and yes, there is.
A public service announcement.
So when you capture the escape pods, you get your crew capacity up. The more crew members you have on your ship, the more you are able to make repairs in the heat of battle. But this also goes for enemies too. If they have a lot of crew members, they can also make repairs. Stop your dodging fancy moves. Oh yeah, he's dead. Yeah, I'll kick them UTA assholes. Now we went and figured some of our own folk gone and helped them UTA bastards. I hate to be shooting down my own boys, but Mama won't stand for that. Please go on and deal with them before they turn tail and run off. I've sent you one of them email things for your map. Y'all should maybe stop by my station before scooting off. That's some real turd you have hanging off your ships. Matt can sell you some fine booty to replace those rusty boomsticks you've been fighting with. Nice. Yes. That is new lasers and new disruptor cannons, I believe. Oh, nice. He brought us right back to the beacon. That's nice. And if you see these things here, we can actually go down there and destroy them and see if there's anything in them that's useful. Damn it, these lasers are so weak. Nope, nothing useful. There was another block over here somewhere. There it is. Looked like some data. Okay. And then you just head for the beacon? Well, actually, you don't even have to head for the beacon. Okay. And then I wanted to explain, when you go to hangars and you look here, you can say how much desired surplus crew you want. This is how much crew you're going to take with you when you build this ship or refit this ship. So if you want 100% crew, that means you're going to take all 3 crew members and you can no longer collect hostages that shoot out from the escape pods. So it's usually a good idea to keep it about 20%, 25 maybe. Usually when I get more into the game, I choose 25. And as you can see, we don't have any more hulls, but once we fight these ships and destroy them, you actually pick up their black boxes, and it helps. Okay, so we got some more upgrade points, so I'm just going to put these into engines, and shields, and launchers, because we'll be getting launchers soon enough. Now you'll see that our shields are at 16. Another way to get your ships to be refitted without actually having to do it is to go to another system. We have some res, no, spend it, no. Okay, so let's see, do we have enough res? Oh, I want those so badly there. That would be useful. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the mining station, and we're gonna dock with them, and we're gonna purchase those new lasers. Whoa. Okay, so you just go to the black
Not
market
sure if you're
catalog.
paying attention. There
Yeah, I know. Okay. And then it costs 46 res, so we have enough. I'm gonna go ahead and buy
Public
that.
service announcement.
And we can't buy these because they cost too much res. This one costs 63, and this one costs 63 as well. The number on top is the number of blueprints you need to be able to manufacture this item. And this number here is the level that you need. So you need reactor level 2 in order to even be able to equip this onto a ship. And what is this, shield? Yeah, shield level 2 to be able to equip that on any ship. But we can definitely go ahead and get that overload emitter on. Oh wait, yeah, see how my shield is now 21 instead of 16? All you have to do is leave the area and it automatically refits your ship. So if you don't want to do it yourself. So anyway, let's go ahead and put those lasers on. I could give it to the other ship, but I just don't really feel like it. I feel like letting them have the
Cargo full, going to dump it off.
the other disruptor cannon thing. Okay, and now we're gonna take off. And you don't have to worry about this. This is basically just the story. Just in case you forget what you're doing, it'll tell you what to do, or you can scroll over these guys and maybe they'll have advice for you, but usually their advice is not very helpful. But it's pretty easy. You just go to the system map, and this is the next place to go. This is the bad seeds. Those are the people that we need to kill. They're going to be civilians this time, but they're bad civilians, so let's do it. As you can tell, they look like different ships. Well, that one doesn't. This one does. I'm very interested in this one. This is definitely a different ship. And as you can see, our lasers are a different color now, and they do more damage, but they have less range. That's the major problem with these lasers. They do more damage, but they have much less
Public
range.
service announcement.
There it is, the black box. There's the black box right there. And now we can make the grasshopper. Which is not a really good ship. Let's see if I can get that pod. Got it. It's really hard to grab stuff without a tractor beam. And some ships just can't have tractor beams. This is one of those ships. The grasshopper's not one that can either. Oh, they're just they're just those free ships. They're really weak. Yes. Grab the data. We'll probably go ahead and grab that res too. Might as well. Oops. Oops. And a good way of getting rid of your goons, if you want to, because you can get rid of the excess goons that you have on your ship, or the excess crew, is to repair your ship. Because that sends it back to the clockwork. And every time you go back to the clockwork, you do your ship just normal, like you just created it. So we would only come back with one goon, and we would deposit 2 goons into the goon bank up there, you can see. And they are a type of currency, so it all just depends upon what you want to do with them at any given time. Damn it. Well, these are new ships too. Look at that. They're scouts. Oh, they're kind of agile, but they're not very fast, as you can tell. Yep, there we go. And now you can tell some ships need more black box data in order to reverse engineer the ship. Oops, I think I killed that pod. Oh well. You can accidentally shoot escape pods if you're not careful. Yes. Black box. There, see, now we can create the scout. Oops. Usually, that's a new ship too. Usually what you want to do is you want to try to get your ship to be one that doesn't have as much maneuverability. Because it's really kind of hard to control. And you have to be careful fighting near your beacon too, because the enemies can destroy your beacon. As you can tell, you can see his information up here on the right. It always gives you the information of the one you have targeted. You can see the target by the little flashing arrows, or the moving arrows around them. And you can change your target. I just use the F key, but there's another key that you can use too for next target and previous target. But I just always use the F key, and it works pretty well. It always seems to try to target the one that's closest. And if you use your weapons too much, you can definitely run low on power. Woo, boy! You really know how to show a girl a good time. I hate to be the donkey's carrot here, mister, but we still need some of that fine help you've been providing. Them UTA bastards have come back looking for their missing goons. I be thinking we waste them, and eventually they'll stop coming around here. Alright. Okay, so before we do that, let's go ahead and... yeah, let's get some research. Let's see. To get to the next level, you have to have 2 points. So I'm going to put a level into beams so that we can have better damage. As you can see, this is what goes up. The beam length doesn't go up by much, or the life. But the damage goes up by quite a bit, so that's great. And we're going to need that because we're definitely using beams. Or, well, I am anyway. And we're going to go to the hangars, and we're going to see what we can do for these new ships. Oh, look at that. See how it has less maneuverability? This is a ship I would pick for myself, because these ships are very hard to control. You can give them to the AI easily. They can control them just fine. Let's see. Hull mass, maneuverability. Trying to figure out what I want to make him. Because as you can see, this one, the hangar size is small, whereas this one is a hangar size tiny. So they can only use the tiny hulls right now. Whereas I can actually use the small holes, which I'm going to do. Let's see, this has a tractor beam. That's nice. I do not want the small pulse cannons. I do not like them. And I think I'm actually going to change his into the lasers as well. Well, no. I think I'm going to go back to that. And you can actually save 3 different layouts per the what's the word I'm looking for? Per hangar. There we go.
Ship constructed.
Yeah. He's saying that you can press Q and E to change ships, just like this. You can also push the numbers. As you can tell, now I'm a much slower ship. It's a lot easier to control. And I have more cargo space, which means more space for res. And more crew space, which means I can hold these crew members, whereas he can't. Okay, so let's get out of here, because we are done with this place. Yes. Wait, no. Yes. Okay, so we've got to fight the UTA some more. Let's do it with our new ship. That has more concentrated firepower. As you can tell, the beams are much closer together. So let's go here and fight the UTA. This is telling you about mass retreat. When things are too difficult, you can open up tactics and hit mass retreat, and you still get all the res and information and stuff that you collected in goons and stuff, but you lose all mission progress, So, we want to try not to lose mission progress, but these darts, they shouldn't give us too much trouble. We don't have to check our targets either, because there's no civilians here. They might give us some trouble. I don't know if I can catch them. That's alright. If you can't catch them, you go for the next one. Because he's probably going to come for us anyway. There we go. As you can tell, you can... Wow, that was really powerful. That was way more powerful than I thought it was going to be. Wow. Those lasers are just penetration. Look at that. That's amazing. Perfect. And so, okay, like I said, the color of the numbers that you see from the damage indicates what you're damaging on their ship. If you see blue numbers, that means you're just hitting their shield, and you're just lowering their shield. That's it. If you see yellow numbers, that means you're hitting the hull through the armor, so it's doing less damage. If you see red numbers, that means it's a direct hit to the hull. And that is the most damage that you could possibly do. And we leveled up, but we're still in a fight. Ooh, these are some new ships. Yes, please. Oh, look at that. Look. Yes, the boomerang. A new ship. And remember, the more crew that you can get, the better. Because they will help repair your ship. But sometimes hostages do not cooperate with you. It does happen. And when it does, they go outside the airlock and get lost in space. I'll show you guys if that ever does happen. I think there was a hostage over here. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, there's some data there too. Awesome. Ooh, lots of data. Nice. Remember, data is like experience in this game. That is how you level up, so you need that stuff. And you may be thinking, well, these lasers are cool and the disruptor cannons are cool, but what do you do when they're far away? And that's where missiles come in. And we'll get to those a little bit later when we actually have a ship that can have missiles. Alright, some data. There was a escape pod over here. I'm just going to go mop that up. Because the AI is pretty smart, and they will go where they're supposed to go. And try and help out. Now these darts just get incinerated by my laser. Hard to believe they're so weak. No, I have low power, but it's okay. Oh no. My AI ship is getting destroyed. As you can tell, with more weapons like this, you really use the power a lot. So you gotta be really sparing with your laser blasts, and just try and make them count. Oh, look at that, now we can make the boomerang. I think that's one of my favorite ships for the AI, I believe. Damn it. Come here. And they can attack your beacon, so be very careful around the beacon. If they attack your beacon, you can no longer create ships, or refit ships, or repair ships in that sector. Well, this be the best day of my whole life. Just like apple pie. I think we be done sending you on suicide missions now, mister. Come on back to the clockwork and have a drink on us. We'll have that big old turd of yours polished up in no time. Alright, so they're gonna fix up the clockwork for us. That's mighty nice of them. Oops. Well, I guess we can't handle that. Oh, they did. Okay. And if any time you need to see what their stats are, you can check right here. See, he's full on crew, and so am I. Let's see. Also, I wanted to explain this. This is your hull. So it has 72 life, and this is your shields. So they only have 21 HP. These are armor, but right now we don't have any extra armor. when you go to the hangar, you can equip armor here. But right now we only have this armor. So later on you'll gain more tech to be able to get higher armor types so that you can withstand more damage, or sustain more damage, sorry. But just remember, armor is there, but if they get through your shields, they will damage your hull as well. Armor is just like a shield. It doesn't absorb all damage, and if it breaks, you will be susceptible to damage on that side, or from the front, or from the back, or from that side. It all depends. Okay, so I'm gonna look one last look. Ooh, we got some boxes out there. Let's go get those boxes. Oh, wait. I wanted to check out that boomerang. That's right. I can't remember. Oh, it's not a tiny. Dang it. Darn, I thought it was. Let's see. That's going to take stuff down. As you can tell, with the redness and the blueness, or greenness, sorry, the green bars and the red bars is how much it affects your stats compared to your current hull. Like if I was to do this, it's all red except for cargo capacity. Goes way the crap up because this thing is really good with cargo. Whereas this, not so good. But the maneuverability on this ship is unmatched, which is pretty much what you want to go for. If you want launchers, you can go with the Grasshopper. It does have some more hull strength, which is nice. This one has a shooter and a launcher, but the trick is the launcher is on the back of it, so it kind of loses its effectiveness because it's effectively shooting behind it. I might change it to that. I'm not sure, though. I don't think it's going to be that useful. I still think this is going to be better right now. Until we get something more useful. Okay. Oh, by the way, you don't ever have to worry about collision either, see? This is an asteroid that you can mine, but you can't actually crash into anything, really. Anything at all. Which is nice. I'm so glad they did not make collision, because that would have made this game incredibly difficult. There's a box. It looks like it's just res.
Hold full. I'm returning to beacon.
And as you can tell, you don't have to have a mining laser to do mining. You can have any kind of weapon. Except for missiles. They don't work too well. So if you have a ship that's only missiles, you're not going to have a good time mining. Sometimes they can mysteriously hit asteroids, but it doesn't happen very often. They usually go right through them, or something like that. Oh, my cargo's full. He can't even pick them up because he doesn't have enough cargo. Okay. And as you can tell, as your cargo gets full, look at how slow I am now. The fuller your cargo gets, the heavier your ship is. Now when you drop it off, look at that. You can definitely see a little speed boost. Okay, so we have 4 points to upgrade. We're going to put one into cannons for him. And I think one into shields. And then I'll worry about those new ones later, like armor and hull. Which is useful because it gives you more health. And gives you more health on your armor. And the armor damage multiplier goes down. So that's useful. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's go back to the clockwork. And then this is where I'm going to end part 1.
The miners had made good on their promise. As the following weeks came and went, the clockwork slowly took shape. Many miners had joined the clockwork's crew in hopes of one day finding their fortune beyond the warp gate. Don and his crew had begun to make a name for themselves, a name that would eventually spread throughout the stars and become legend. The time had finally come to leave Earth behind and embark on the long journey to the core.
I have to admit my surprise that Elsa's friends were able to patch up the clockwork in decent time. Let's hope it doesn't fly apart around the first bend. You should have more faith in these people. They took a risk lending us a hand, and we should pray we find such luck in the future. You two need to stay focused. Don't worry, or don't forget we almost got killed back there, and we haven't even left home yet. As long as they are willing to pay us, we can stay to build up the fleet and collect supplies we need. Beyond that, we have no time for chivalry or to fight a losing war. Get the hell out of here, or getting the hell out of here is all that matters right now. Well, it looks like those feeble repairs allow us to build much larger vessels. We need to be on the lookout for black boxes. I can use them to reverse engineer new ship designs and rebuild our database. They already told us about that. Now they're saying that the mothership is upgraded to level 2, which is nice. Now it can hold more, a higher maximum amount of everything. Of course, this goes up every time you level, but as you can see, we can hold 500 res instead of whatever we could hold before. Maybe it was still 500, I don't know. But we have an empty hangar now, so we can build another ship.
This is a
Not
public
to
service
mention,
announcement.
look, now they're small hangars, and we have a large hangar. Which means technically we could build all these ships, but we don't have them yet. Unfortunately, this is the ship that I'm using in my game currently. It's a slow ship, but it's a pretty good ship. As you can see, this is the Gopher right here, or the Boomerang. And it has 2 small shooter mounts, so it's basically the exact same thing. It's an upgrade of the Dart, pretty much. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and change their hull to the Boomerangs. You can see what the refit cost will cost. It tells you what the build cost is. For this one, we're going to give him the lasers. And for this empty hangar, we're going to build another Boomerang. And yeah, we'll give him the disruptor, or pulse cannons. I don't know why I call them disruptor. I just don't know. Anyway, build ship. And then you can go back to the tactics and refit ship. Just like that. And now we see our new ships. See? They're both Boomerangs. And also in the tactics, you can control them. You can tell them to assist the player, which means they will help you, they will try and help and focus your targets, whereas fire at will just means, fire at any enemy you want to. Which is kind of cool too. I don't know where all those little things went, but there's defense mode, which is right there. You can set them to aggressive or passive, of course. This is the best mode that I've found, is the collect mode. You can actually have it to where they don't collect cargo at all, or where they just collect cargo, but this is the best mode because they collect, and when they're full, they'll drop off the cargo automatically, which is nice. This is to recycle the ship so you can get more res, repair ships, and these are advanced tactics that I've never really used. There's a lot of them in here. Maybe we'll touch on them in another video, but I don't really know too much about them. Also remember, every time you go to a new area, just look around the immediate area and see if you can find anything worth exploring, but it doesn't look like we have anything useful. So anyway, guys, we did get pretty far in this one. We've got ourselves a small ship, and they're small ships as well. Ours is more of a fleet commander ship, as you can tell, because it's a little slow. It doesn't turn as fast as they do, but they control themselves really well, the AI does. Whereas if you play as a ship with high maneuverability, it's a little tricky, because W makes you go forward and the mouse turns you. So if you start getting confused and thinking, oh, W up and then this to go this way, you're not going to be turned the correct direction. So yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this first video of Let's Play SPAZ. Join me in the next video where we're going to finish the rest of the tutorial, and then we will be on our own. Also, if you see any of these numbers change from video to video, don't worry about it. It just means that I was farming off camera, because farming res, as you can tell, we have 2,500 limit now, 150 goons limit. Farming those things takes a long time, and it's very boring. because you pretty much just sit there, or you can collect res. I pretty much just sit there and let them farm it and go do something else. But you can do it yourself. It just, I don't know. Sometimes it works good. It just depends upon if you're a ship that has a lot of cargo. That's another reason why it's good to have, why it's good to set some of these stored designs. Because this way you can say, okay, well, these are my combat ships, but then for design B, I want this to be cargo oriented. So if I'm going to collect res or something like that, or you could say, oh, I want it to be crew oriented. Because some of these ships have high crew capacity, which I don't see any right now. We don't have any unlocked. But there are ships in there that have really high crew capacity. So you could just go and collect a whole bunch of goons and then trade them back in. But yeah, like I was saying, that's what this is for. Every time you create the ship, it will put 20% of the maximum goons for that ship on the ship from the reserve. So if you did 100%, you would have all your goons and you wouldn't be able to pick up any hostages. And then if you went back to the ship, you wouldn't even drop off goons because you'd still be at 100. So you would never actually collect goons that way. So it's definitely a good idea to keep it about 20%, maybe 25. I usually put it at 25, but I think it's okay. You can change these later too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So anyway, guys, sorry this video went on a little bit long. Hope you did enjoy Let's Play SPAZ. My name is Vidavis Prime. Drop the video a like if you did like it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, or if you like my channel, or heck, even if you don't like my channel, subscribe. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Vidavis out.